this time of year is amazing. Because no one or very few people are around. And if you're like me and you like to spend most of your time alone, well, then it's a great place to be. The seagulls, they seem to be social creatures. Or maybe they just pretend. Maybe they're living with fear. Maybe few of them ever want to go off on their own for fear of what might come in the unknown. Or maybe they really just like being with each other and hanging out. I'm not so sure. Maybe they don't even think about that. That's a possibility too. There's an old book, John Livingston Seagull. It's kind of got a cult following. It's quite lovely, actually. Look at the waters converging. I love this. All of these different forces moving. Waves and wave dynamics playing. Oh, look at it, so neat. Seaweed mixing with life. Delicious. I have a friend who lives on the other side of these rocks. I've yet to visit. Wow, let's not get wet. Is the tide coming up or is it going down? Look at this, my God, it's amazing. Our directions are so confused. I'm swirling and twisting and turning. I'm walking one way, but it's coming another. And yet I'm also being chased by the waters. How glorious. It's so confusing to the human body. It doesn't know what direction it's discombobulating. It's glorious. I love it. My mind is confused, but yet is in love with the sensation of turning and twisting and wondering. On some level, this is how my existence is within. And all the mechanisms playing and dancing and doing their thing are spinning and living like this. It's just that I'm unfamiliar with it in some regard, because it's not my normal experience to be aware and present with it. Though I actually am quite aware and present with it. And if you were to probably take your thoughts and look at them as a stream, this is probably metaphorically similar. Thoughts thoughts flowing in different directions, being impeded by other thoughts, such as these stones and rocks and the topography of your upbringing, of your culture, of your ideas and programs, dictating the flow and directions of your existence and the way you think things to be. And then we come to these calming waters. And some reflection of stillness. And even there, a ripple disguises what's underneath. When in fact what is underneath is what is above and what is all around. The contrast of the sounds, so calm, and yet we're so close. Now one would say there's a lot of chaos and turmoil over there, and a lot of calm and ease over here. But if you're the ocean itself, I think this might disturb your mind a bit more. But if you're the river and the sand, perhaps this is a joy. Perhaps not. Perhaps it is none of these things. And this is not an anthropomorphization of nature. We are nature. This nature is just speaking to us and telling us something of ourselves. It's showing an aspect of ourselves to ourselves that we don't often get to experience in the physical realm unless we take the time to explore and see what is. Now what's so confusing is I'm walking slowly but with the flow, so it's making me feel like I'm moving fast. And this is how confusing time and space can actually be. When we pause, I still am moving, even though I'm still. Yes, my awareness is still, because it always is. The still point of the universe exists within me, as it exists within you. There's nothing here moving other than what is around me. Well, it looks like I'm moving, and there are my footprints. Those feet are carrying absolute stillness. And all these phenomena, bubble, bubble, bubble. Can you hear the waves on the rocks? I lower myself for your pleasure. I've always been curious by wave dynamics and the matrices that darken the below. What is going on there? How is that possible? How two clear substances run into each other, the same clear substance, yet some peak, some crossing, some valley. And there's a shadow that only exists if there's light around, of course. The contrasting colors, beautiful. Something spectacular, isn't it? Shall we continue walking back to the convergence? Do you ever sit with people, or you go somewhere and you kind of you want to be amongst people, but you don't really want to talk? You get tired of hearing your own voice, and yet people try to draw conversation out of you. It's often like this in my own head. So I will quiet my thoughts by placing my attention outside of myself. Of course, I will put my attention back inside, and I can sense and be in the quiet as well. But it's much easier when I place my attention outside of my being, even though all those ideas about placing my attention outside or inside, you placing your attention inside or outside, is a false separation. But yet there is a sense of these rocks, how glorious it is. There's always a false separation. Where is any of this being experienced? Within, but there is no within, as there is no without. Yet there is. Oh yeah. Run, Eric, run! Isn't it glorious? Why is that so attractive? Is the water confused? Confusion doesn't exist, does it? It all just is. Dancing upon the sands of the sea. Fresh water mixing with the ocean. And there we are, spinning amongst the earth. I swear the second law of thermodynamics is a complete lie. Wow. I love the sound of water flowing. There's magic in that, you know. By magic, I don't mean magic. I mean magic. Where shall we end this? Why don't we end this where it never ends? As it always continues, never stops nor begins.